guys, welcome back to Moto Resurrection. Today we're going to be taking a look at my 1996 Honda CR250 with the plan of building this into the next dream race bike. I picked this up from a buddy of mine a few months back for $500. Came with a title, which I didn't expect, and I also didn't know what I was getting into when I bought this. So this video is just, we're going to be taking a walk around it, assessing everything it's going to need, and talking a little bit about what my actual plan is for this bike, because I don't want to just put it back together. Oh no, we got other plans for it. So let's check it out. Let's see what we got. So when I originally picked this bike up, it basically looked exactly like it is right now, except the tank was actually off, the seat was off, and covered in cobwebs front to rear. It looked really bad. At glance right now, I mean, it's a Dune Goon setup, but it's not that bad. These handlebars are terrible. The Moors, you know. But overall condition is actually not bad. I thought it was way worse when I first picked it up, but we could work with this. We could work with this. So it's good. You know, it has a pipe. It's actually in pretty good shape overall. I have a second pipe that's brand new, never run, sitting, that was given to me by a friend, and yeah, like this pipe is in like basically perfect shape. It's definitely been used, but very little. So that's a win. What else have we got here? I'm sure, I know the forks are shot. You can tell. Yeah, they're just blown out, so that's easy fix. I think I already have seals for this too. So definitely gonna need suspension rebuild. I like the fact they had the outerwear on the shock, but you know what the problem with these is? If anything does get in there, it's trapped and it can't get out. So we're gonna look under that. Hopefully it's Velcroed. It is. So let me peel that off. Let's see what we got underneath that. So I think I can access it better from this side. Maybe. At least get the bottom peeled off so we can see it. Oh yeah, it's shot. See that? See if I can get close enough. So all the sand is just on the bump stop here, and there's a layer of oil. It's kind of right there, where it's just the sand is just built up around it. So the shock is bad. We're gonna have to rebuild that. So that's easy enough. Seal head and oil and nitrogen, not a big deal. But I knew, I had a strong feeling. That's why you don't run these. It's better to just make sure you have your mud flap on and an extra link in your chain if you're running the sand, because at least the sand can get off of the shock. These just hold it in there. So anyway, we'll deal with that. So it needs all suspension. The tank is, you know, for a 96, I expected more yellowing. So we'll try and clean this up. It's gonna be hard to get some of that out, but it's actually pretty decent shape. I do have pretty much all new plastic for it. You can see they freestyle goon the side panels, and I mean, that's to be expected when you're running the sand. The one thing it doesn't have is the spoke wraps. Thank God for that. I hate those things. But to the wheels, let's take a look at the wheels here. So see the chassis, you know, subframe, frame are looking like they're going to clean up pretty good. The wheels, there's a Warp 9 on the rear, stock hub, oversized spokes. Perfect. I don't have to build a wheel. One thing I do see, bolts on the rotor, these are wrong. These should be tapered Allen bolts. So those got to go. Every single one of them. So that's wrong. No. So we'll fix that. But the wheel itself, that's a win. We'll take that. Let's take a look at the front. So the front wheel is an OEM wheel. Ooh, that brake. Okay, so this explains why I was rolling it. It didn't want to roll. The brake is just locked up on this thing. Okay, so we have to fix brakes. I knew that was going to be a thing. But the wheel is actually in really good shape. That's not even a dent. It looked like a dent, but it's not. Stock spokes, hoop, hub. You can see they had, you know, like rim tape. Probably had some sponsor name or graphic company name on it. It's on both sides. That got peeled off a long time ago and it left the residue, so that's going to be a nightmare to get off, but I think it's doable. We can make that happen. So some adhesive remover probably get that done, so that I'm not going to worry about that, but it looks good. So I don't have to build wheels for this one, at least not yet. We can run these for the year, because there's going to be a lot of other things that we got to do. So let's take a look at the radiators. I see we have one guard. Pretty sure I don't have the other one. A little smashed, just a little, but I think that's okay. That smashed pretty good on the inside there. Pretty standard on an old CR. These things hit the ground all the time. Let's check the other one. I'll just have to do a leak test on them, and just, if they hold liquid, I'm gonna run them for this year, because we are on a budget. That one looks pretty. This side's good. The other side, not so good. Not horrible though. I think my 93 KXs are just slightly worse. But okay, cool. So there's a check there. Steering bearings, I think I should probably do those. I don't think they've ever been done. The funny thing is the steering actually, it doesn't feel bad at all. It's really smooth. It's actually too loose. You see how it just drops? It shouldn't do that. Yeah, so that, we'll get all new cables. These are shot. Like, you know, brake hose actually not too bad. A little ugly, but you know, not the worst thing. Throttle cable. Ooh, there's not even a carb on it, and it's sticky. Might be more the throttle tube. That's all going to get replaced anyway. Might as well get a new cable. And it does have, is this an applied? It's aftermarket clamp. Yeah, it doesn't say, what's it say on it? D1H. I don't think I've heard of them. Could be some vintage era shit, I don't know. But that's cool. It has that, so you can run 1 1/8 bars. But like I said, these will go. We're not running a cow print. So yeah, and then let me pop the seat off and we'll take a look under here. Well, we have a filter cage. There's no filter, which is fine because I put a new one in it anyway. That's good. We have this. This was never removed. I've seen that. That looks terrible though. That's gonna have to get cleaned. Maybe I should turn the camera this way. And clean out the air box, but actually not bad. Not too bad. The upper shock bolt is not tight. I see that. That doesn't matter because it's coming off anyway. So subframe. You know, we just got these little starting rust points, but I'm not seeing anything bent or fractured. Any cracks. I'm not really seeing anything. This has got a little bow to it, but overall it looks good. This side does look down from that side a little bit. I'm gonna have to get a rear fender on it and just see how it looks, but from right here it does look slightly tweaked. But we have a subframe straightener that can take care of that, so we'll take a closer look at that when time comes and see if we have to do anything there, but I don't think that will be too much of an issue. No cracks. Cracks are the big thing. And yeah, the frame overall looks pretty good. I mean, it's been repainted. This is not OEM paint. But you know, we could grip tape this, you know, eventually repaint it. Oh yeah, you can see right there in the bottom of the guard, there's overspray. Shit, they didn't even take the radiators off. Oh man. Maybe we'll paint the frame, powder coat it, something. I kind of want to try some PJ1 paint now that they've kind of got that back in circulation. I was thinking about doing it on the KX build, and then maybe on this. Maybe we'll do this first. So I'll look into that and give you guys kind of like a review of the primer and the paint. And I've used it before. It's been a very long time. I'm sure it's no different than it was, but we'll see if we can get our hands on some, and maybe that'll be something that we do. So stand by for that one. Levers, shot. Yeah, ooh, God. That's all that's there. Yeah, I bet the Master's just, I mean, it works, but you would never want to ride that. That's bad. Oh, man. Okay, so brakes, rear brakes. Move the seat out the way, not ding the pipe. Can't really test it. The pivot bolt's gone. Well, it goes and returns. Not really working. I bet it works. It just, I should get a rebuild kit for this and the calipers. There's certain areas you can kind of like skimp on and whatnot, but when it comes to brakes, engine, cooling, and fuel system, you don't skimp on that. And the bearings, you have to do those. So the other plan is I get it ready for the dream race for the build it's going to be, and a buddy of mine, the guy I got it from, wants to race it at the dream race. So I'm trying to keep the goal for this year to get this thing together, built the way it's going to be, but not completely finished, but to the point where he can actually race it. So we'll see as the year goes as we build this thing, if that's going to come together or not, or if he's going to have to wait another year. And if that's the case, then so be it. He has to wait. Now, onto the engine. That's in another box in the shop, so let's go take a look at that. That's a nightmare of its own. Alright, we got to it. Here's the tote that has the engine in it. I already kind of went through it a little bit, realizing I didn't turn the damn mic on, so we're going to redo that. I had to move all this crap to get to it, so let's just jump in. Lighting isn't awesome, but I think we'll be able to see what we need to see. So here it is. Somebody has already done me the chore of tearing it apart, which really sucks, because it's always more difficult, and you'll see why here in just a minute, to put this back together when somebody else does the work. It doesn't finish. So crankcase is in good shape. It looks like hell, but it's, I think they were maybe trying to do a crank seal in it, so they just pulled the one side off, and then it never got finished. So case saver bosses are still there, which is great. You don't see that all the time. Mating surfaces they're good. There's no holes or punctures or anything in the bottom. My 93 that I had, right about where right below where my index finger is, or right above it in this, there was a big crack, like right about here. It was actually a hole that somebody JB welded, and I didn't know it until after I bought it. It ran fine. It didn't suck air or anything, but it was just like waiting for that day where that JB weld was going to let off. It would go lean and just, you know. I sold that thing years ago, and I regret it. But now we have a 96 instead of a 93, so that's okay. Clutch cover looks pretty good. There's sand inside it. Hoping that was just from it sitting, but it is pretty greasy, so I don't know. But the cover's in good shape. We'll Cerakote, clean that up and Cerakote it. So there's one thing I don't need to buy. Carburetor, key in, can't go wrong with that. It's green. Oh yeah, look at the green. So we'll use some of that AMSOIL product I was talking about, the combustion chamber cleaner, I think it was. It works really good to clean that stuff off. I can bet inside there is not going to look good. So yeah, but we have the carb, so that's, and it's not a China carb. This is a legit key in. Stop buying China carburetors, people. So intake, we got a reed valve. Definitely going to do reeds. These are shot. They're not chipped and frayed, they're just old. Look at all the rust on the plates. So that'll all get replaced. But the block is good, so that's cool. It's always good to have that. Cylinder head. It did not grenade the top end, so that's good. That's just from sitting in the tote. It even looks like it was burning pretty good. Well, that's good. So, we got the head. Don't need to worry about that. Now the cylinder is going to be a thing, and I'll show you why. You probably notice there is a stud missing. It's actually down there. Why it was removed, I don't know. And this one, they're also removing. That's locked up pretty good. So I may need to buy a stud set for it. But let's take a look at what the actual issue is here. Now, this is all fixable, but I'm going to go to where there's a little bit better light. And hopefully you can actually see what I'm talking about. Cylinder wall is rusted. It has been sleeved. I believe these were originally a Nicosil bore. So it's been sleeved and bored, and you can tell just by how thin that liner is down here. You can flip it around, you can see it up top. So yeah, it's been sleeved. Like, it's hard to see the rust, but this thing has got a lot of rust, unfortunately. It looked like it was running pretty good, then it got pulled apart, set in a box, and forgotten about, and then it just started to rot away. Can I clean that with a hone? Maybe, but I'm gonna say probably not. And we're gonna have to send this thing out and get it bored one more time. Now I am seeing this. That is not a factory bolt. What the hell's going on there? Alright, I'm gonna have to look into that. That is not factory. Pretty sure. There should be a washer under that, or possibly a flange bolt. This is not right. So, I have to deal with that. Power valve is rusting. That sucks. So, this is all savable. It's just a crappy deal. Yeah, sometimes you get something for $500 and it's killer, and other times you get something for $500 and it costs you way more than you ever expected to spend on it. So this one's going to be costing some money. There's no easy, quick, just make it run situations going on right now with this bike. So that's kind of why I haven't done the video yet, because I kind of knew it wasn't going to be great, but I was like, well, I got to do a video. I haven't shot one this year, and it's time to kind of get the ball rolling. And so I have actually been working on the XR250. I will show you proof. It's on the lift. This video will probably come out first. That one's taking a little bit longer. Just time restraints. So, but we are working on the XR. So for right now, we're just digging into this just to kind of get an idea. And I can start digging for parts and searching eBay, and, you know, maybe through work I can order some stuff as I work for a dealership. So, yeah. I always love this. They left the crank in the case with the clutch cover and the pump still all in there. They just pulled the left side of the case off. So they must have been trying to do, wherever that went, a crank seal on the one side, because it probably started leaking, instead of doing it right and doing both seals. So there we go. Let's take a look at this crank. This crank itself, I'm not going to use. I'm going to save it. I'm going to get it rebuilt and have it as a spare. Oh my God, that does not turn. What is going on there? Okay, and the piston. Oh yeah, this is all the movement that we're getting out of that. Oh, there it goes. Yep, well, that's shot anyway, but catching something, there we go. So it'll get new main bearings and whatnot, but I'm just more concerned about case condition. I don't want to rack that on there too hard. I'm going to be gentle. The rest of the shift drums there, shaft, main shaft. but it looks good. And let's see if we can flip it up and look for a drain bolt to make sure it's stock. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, that looks good. I don't think they've blown the threads out. That always happens. People over torquing them or forgetting to put the gasket on there, and then they reef it down and they blow the threads out. So that still looks more or less like a factory bolt, not a factory crush washer, but I'm okay with that. So I think that's fine. We're looking good on this. It's just everything here is gone. It's smoked. It's toast. The other fun part, and I love this, but thankfully I kind of know what's going on. But as you can see, there's a gear and there's a gear. There's a gear, here's a gear. Everywhere is a gear. They didn't even zip tie the transmission together or anything, so it's literally just laid out in the bottom of the tote, which is awesome. So, condition the gears. Yeah, we got a little bit of wear going on here. Not horrible. Even sometimes that little tiny bit though will cause it to jump out of gear. I don't think this one's quite to that point, but it doesn't look awesome. Let's see. That one's actually, I think that one's alright. Cogs look good. And a little edging, a little bit of edging there. So yeah, we got rust, not a big deal. This one actually looks pretty good, minus that rust spot. We can clean that off. Hey, the flywheel's in here, so that's cool. There's no stator. I have no stator. I have no CDI. That's the other problem with this bike. Basically, all of its electrical is gone. I don't know where it is. It didn't come with the bike. Prior owner, no idea. Basically says didn't have it. So that's $500. So oh, and no ignition coil. That was the other thing. You look at the chassis, pull the tank. There's no coil. So all electrical. Shift forks look good. Happy about that. Kind of peeked at those. Not too bad. The ignition cover, it's in good shape. What else? Shifter, shot, and the other shaft. So the fun thing is going through all this and just getting the gears back on the right shaft in the right order. It really isn't that bad, but oh man, that one's got a little bit of edge wear. Okay. So we might need to find a spare transmission. Oh, what's that? Uh-oh. Oh no. Yeah. Okay, so here's a retaining clip. It's broken right there. And bent to shit. Alright, so add that to the list. We gotta find a spare transmission. Just to make sure I have all the washers and spacers. Because who knows if anything's actually missing. There's for the clutch. Oh, hey, cool. We got the bearing and everything for the clutch. And the push rod's right there. So we have that. That's good. Most of the stuff is not available through Honda anymore. So I'm going to have to go used. Which is fine. It's just finding the right stuff. Basically 92 to 96. Generally all compatible. So it gives us a wide range of parts to look for. So, or years to look at, I should say. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. The bike itself is way less of a problem than this tote. This tote is a lot of work. So, but we're gonna do it. It's gonna get done. So, let me get all this crap back in the box and we'll get this finished up here. All right. So what do we know at this point? First thing, I bought a basket case. It is a huge pile of crap. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and this one's like right in the middle. Basically everything has to get done. Full suspension, full brakes, calipers, masters, everything. Full engine, top, bottom, transmission, clutch, water pump, whole thing. It's got to get done. chassis bearings, front to back, everything. Yeah, all that, and then all the detail stuff, you know, plastic and graphics and seat cover and grips and bars and cables and levers, all of that is getting replaced. So that's all minor stuff. Major stuff, fuel system, engine, the missing electrical system. Wish I would have known about that, but 96 CR250 with a title, it could be missing stuff and it was still worth it, I guess. So got to get on eBay. I'm going to start searching, like I said, going through that transmission. It's definitely missing pieces. I got to get a spare transmission, and then we can piece that back together with confidence that it's right, and I won't have to split the cases a second time because I missed something. I'm not going to play that game. So that's a big one. The electrical engine rebuild kit, I'll piece that together. I do have a crankshaft for a CR250, a complete crank. Can't remember what year it goes to. I feel like it's a newer one, which I don't believe is compatible. It's like a main bearing difference or something. I can't remember what the difference was, but you know, different eras, they change things. So I'm gonna look into that, but I don't think it's the right one. So worst case, you gotta buy, you know, a hot rod kit or, you know, Wiseco, you know, rod rebuild or whatever. So we'll figure that out. I'm gonna sit down, do some part searching and figure it out. But you know, I'm looking at you know, it's probably gonna be 2 grand, probably get this thing done. And the other part to this is I don't have the part here for you guys to see, but a little taste of what the build's actually going to be. It's clearly putting back together a CR250, but I have a full body kit for this thing. They made these back in the 90s. UFO and the Cherubies both offered them. I'm not sure if anybody else did, but those two did. And I believe mine's the Cherubies kit, red, 92 to 96 CR125 250. It's the full body wrap kit. I want to wrap it in white or leave it red. That's to be determined. We'll see how I want to do color combos and all that kind of stuff when we get there. That's pretty much the last thing on the list to do. It's a kit that some people love it, some hate it. I'm kind of in the middle. They're kind of ugly, but they're unique. So that's why we're going to use it. And I've sat on this kit for, I don't know, 15 years, probably maybe longer, 2007, 2008, somewhere in there, maybe even before that, I can't remember. So it's time to use it. It's time to put it to use. So that's kind of why I got this bike, is because I had this stupid plastic kit. So let's, you know, if I can find a picture of kind of what it looks like, I'll insert it here towards the end of the video. And then give you guys kind of an idea of what's going on for the 125 Dream Race build for 2025. And, oh, like I said, I'm going to show you something. So you know I'm not full of crap. The XR is on the lift. I have been filming. I'm not going to show you everything. But it is back on the lift, and work has begun. Filming has happened, and there's a lot more to film. This is going to be a bit of a longer video. That's why it's taking a while. So you're going to see this CR video before you see the XR video. Cowies! So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I got to pull some money together, and you know, I don't have sponsors. I don't have anybody, you know, giving me free product or anything. So it's all out of pocket. We got to do it, but it's for the love of dirt bikes, and it's always fun to build something cool for an event, and that's what we're going to do. So stand by, keep an eye out. There'll be more periodic videos as time goes on the CR250, and like I said, the XR250 video coming hopefully fairly soon. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, till the next one, we'll see ya.